Sorry, guys, we need one more minute for everybody to sit down. Coffee's good?
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave, for arranging the cafe. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. If it's okay, everyone will start taking their snacks and drinks while I just introduce what's going to happen next. If that's all right. Dave, could you show the simple agenda that what we've done is we've shaved a minute. Could I ask whoever has their speakers on here to turn that off? No, I need to keep this on. Yeah. I need to get that. Okay. Sorry, where's that coming from? Sorry, guys, we have an echo. Could you, thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's not pairing. Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. Sorry for that 1 minute delay. What we would like to ask is that everyone really keep to the 2 to 3 minutes instead of 3 to 4 minute reports. To just cut it down if that's okay. We have to be out of here at 5:30, but we said we would end the event at 5. Really the latest we should wrap up is 5:15 because we have to be out. I know some of you online, in person, have made plans other than going to the Nomikai with us at 5:30. But this is slightly adjusted. And if I would like to, Dave, could you share it? Sorry, we're not sharing the screen. Apologies. Sorry. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea. All right, 1 second. And yes. Now if people can see why I was so nervous trying to find a screen to share. All right. This is slightly adjusted. It means really cutting down reports to 2 to 3 minutes. I apologize for that. I'll share the blame with Dave. Our reports were too long. I'm really sorry about that. So I would like to request that we approve the adjusted agenda.
So moved.
Second by Eric here. Any questions? I'm just looking online. No? As well, I'd like to ask that we approve the change by unanimous consent. Is that acceptable to everyone? No, okay, everyone here is all right with that? Okay. Online, any objections?
I don't see any
Ray,
objections on
is there an
chat.
objection?
No, I don't see any objections on chat.
Sorry, I just saw Ray unmute himself,
No
but I
objection.
can't hear you. Okay, then let's move forward. What we're going to have for the next few minutes are reports from our 3 chapter leaders. It's as high as it goes. It's as high as it goes. Thank you. So, Dave, could you go to the next slide? And we're going to hand it over to each chapter leader. 2 of whom are online. I will ask someone over there to keep the online. It's easier for you to keep a 2-minute timer, and I will keep the 2-minute timer here for people in person. Thank you. So, Dave, could you introduce who's our first chapters? Our leaders are from, well, we have one here from Kansai. So, can we share David's picture or his slides? So, David Graves in Osaka. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello. I will keep this short. That shouldn't be a problem. First of all, I'd just like to say hello to Ryusei. I'm from Dorchester, Massachusetts, so it was great to hear that we have another person from the Boston area. Welcome to DAJ. I've been chair for Kansai for 2 years. I've been finding it interesting, but a bit of a struggle as well to get new people on board. I've been held a couple of events, well, not more than a couple, a few events in the Kansai area, but not much participation. I believe, yeah. So that's you're going fast here. So that's a Thanksgiving event from last year. I was able to get 2 or 3 people to attend that. That's Erin. She's attended a couple of events. And previous one was the 4th of July photo there, which Sarah Jean was actually kind enough to come down to attend that. So those are a couple of good events. I'm trying to hold monthly events now to get people to come out a little bit more now that COVID has been dying down. But so far they have not proved too fruitful. But I will continue to do these until they do actually start to I don't know, become more viable for people to attend. Yeah, and that's about it for the Kansai area. I was still looking for people to run. Again, just having trouble getting people to nominate themselves. So hopefully by next week, someone will come out of the woodwork and make their presence felt.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you. Next is Kanto. Matt?
Slides, please. No slides yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So primarily what you'll see is the few events that we had set up. Basically, we wanted to create a sense of community for our goals, try to have an event for each season, and didn't quite measure up to that, but we got some of the seasons, and support get out the vote activities in the Kanto region. Next slide. For 2022, we were able to have, of course, a 4th of July barbecue. We had some get out the votes canvassing in front of National Azabu in person, and a Thanksgiving get together. Here's a few pictures following. Next slide. Here's our barbecue at the smokehouse. Next slide. Get out the vote activity. Again, people standing in front of National Azabu asking people if they are US voters and if they're registered, have they sent in their ballot for the midterms. Next slide. And Thanksgiving brunch. Again, this was a mixture of online and in person in Shiodome. Next slide. As for 2023, we have started out with a hobby party and of course our general meeting. Next slide. Our cherry blossom party was not very long ago, just a couple weeks ago, in close to Daikanyama. And our next slide. And our general meeting was well attended on the 13th. So I want to thank you very much. Next slide. Successes, some good events have happened. Of course, some of the challenges have been busy schedules and finding, of course, enough time and energy, kind of adjusting also to the new reality for after COVID. Some of the learnings, of course, is how to get more participation. And so what we need to do is try to expand the chapter by getting more people involved in some of these activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, we will go to the Tokai leadership, who happen. Sorry?
Go ahead. I think, all right. I'm gonna unmute myself.
Okay, hold on.
I can come up front.
Yes, please.
All right, I'll come up front.
Okay.
So be it. Okay. All right, so, hello. All right. Thanks very much. So yeah, Frank's not able to attend today. Can you move forward? Can we move forward? All right, so yeah, we had the first in-person events last year after, we started to come together again. We had in January a virtual town hall online. And then in July, at the end of July, we went to a really nice restaurant, some of us did. And December 3rd, we had our holiday barbecue that Sarah Jean attended. We had a nice time. All right, goals to increase membership and increase participation with more in-person events. We had scheduled Ohanami in April, but a lot of people, I guess, had other prior engagements. We hope to have some summer and winter events. People are welcome to suggest things. We're open to ideas. And ultimately, we want to get ready for 2024 for getting out the vote, more in-person member engagement things. Time's up for me.
There was 1 minute.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. Excuse me. So yeah, we had some more face-to-face events. We haven't seen some people in a long time. There were familiar people we saw again. Everyone is busy with their work and life. And yeah, to say rebuilding after COVID is hard, but what I mean by that is people want to do things again, right? People want to go out and actually get involved again. So yeah, we can do things, right? And we want to be more of a community resource, a network of contacts for people to call on, right? And so yeah, for that, we need more members. So that's our goal for the next year and beyond. All right,
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
I'll finish here. There's no questions.
Thank you very much. And I want to give a big round of applause to all of our chapter leaders, because the chapters are really the heart and soul of the organization. It's on the ground. There's, because I'm using this 5 seconds. It's on the ground is where the get out the vote, the outreach, touch, the building the community happens. Thank you very much. Matt, I'd like you to keep the recording going on. So we'll just have 3 recordings.
Will do.
Yeah, okay. What I'd like to do is now turn it over to I'm sorry, I didn't change all the slides. I'd like to hand it over to our team reports. Dave, could you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Next slide, thank you. Next, sorry. So we're going to go very quickly through fundraising, membership, and outreach very quickly. Thank you. Fundraising committee. That's you. Regina, thank you.
Hello again.
Well,
We definitely need more committee members for the fundraising committee.
what's from global? That goal is from global.
Oh, it's gonna say, okay, that's great. It's a great goal to have $500 per month. What we've seen is that there was a chilling effect last year with the change of collection of donations. We saw that across the board, across all the kind of country committees. So in 2021, we had donations primarily from a couple of members. And that was like 80%. In 2022, that number fell. It was about 65% because we got more smaller donors, sustaining donors. And that's what we want to build that because it's so much easier with our platform, with the website. So, and we always see that anytime we have an event, the next month invariably the donations are out. So with more events, we expect to get an increase of donations. But the best way is to be a sustaining donor, $5, $10 a month. Do it online and forget about it. Forget about it. Donate. Forget about it.
This is you, Dave. Do you want to talk about this more, or do you want to skip this because you covered on?
I think I did really cover this in the previous,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we're gonna move forward just because we covered most of this in the previous. I'll do just quickly 1 minute to catch people up about what's changed with communications. When last we all met last year, we had a different communications director. She left Japan shortly after the AGM. So lucky for us, we got an email from Izuka Rivas to come in and help out, even though he was living in Okayama. So maybe did you just want to say 1-2 minutes what you've been doing? Very simply.
I have a few quick numbers to plug in. So,
Great.
yeah, hi again. So I gotta look here to read some numbers, but in short, some things we were able to accomplish. We formed a communications committee, which definitely helped Sarah Jean and Dave, got some of the heavy lifting off of them. And we managed social media and created graphics. But in terms of the numbers, comparing from when I started to where we are now, in June of 2022 on Twitter, we had 650 impressions. Last month in March, we made 12,000 unique impressions. On Facebook, over the past year, we made a 58,000 unique impressions, which reflects 120% growth in engagement, 150% increase in click-through to our page, 33% increase in page likes, and we launched one ad campaign around the election. On Instagram, similar uptick. We had 15,000 unique impressions, 50 new followers, and Instagram's our newest social media, so that was a lot, and one more ad campaign there as well. So,
Can you send that to our note takers?
Yes. Who is that one?
I'm taking it.
Great.
This announce.
Great, thank you very much. Next is, actually, we can skip this because we mostly talked about events and move on to get out the vote. And we hand this off to Rebecca and to Eric. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and start. I know we don't have a lot of time. If you can keep sharing the slides, that'd be great.
We love to
Oh,
see
can
you,
I,
Rebecca, sorry.
sorry?
We love to see you, that's all. Hold on.
Oh,
one second.
I have my video on.
Yeah, just give us a quick second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oops. There.
Okay, briefly, this is mostly to, if you don't know what Get Out the Vote is, it's the committee that tries to raise awareness about voting and get people registered to vote in Japan. And we do that primarily through these three methods: in-person voter outreach or canvassing, go places and ask people if they're registered to vote; phone banking, which Eric will talk about; and voter assistance, which is for actual voting. When people have questions, we answer them. Next slide, please. So our report from the previous year. So we had midterm elections in 2022, as you all know. We did these three things. Next slide, sorry.
Next slide.
So in the run up to the midterms, we had some in-person events in Shibuya, and a lot of online, sorry, next slide. A lot of online voter support, which Sarah Jean arranged, and a lot of us helped out with, which was really great, I think. And we were able to answer a lot of people's questions. So in addition to that, we did phone bank. I think the next slide is phone banking, right?
Yeah.
No, intercom. Intercom, I won't spend a lot of time explaining it. If you're interested in helping out not in person, online, if your skills are online, we would love to have more intercom volunteers. That would be great. Next slide, please. Okay, phone banking. I'll hand it over to Eric to explain phone banking, and then I'll come back to finish and then start talking about 2023.
Okay. All right. So next slide, please. Just to recap some of the highlights of 2022, we made over 150,000 calls. Well, as a global team, right? This people in all countries who are taking part, right? We took 150,000 calls made, sent 65,000 texts. We had hundreds of volunteers across multiple countries and time zones. This was August through November. This was like the really big push for the elections, averaging 2,000 calls a day. Please, next one. My battery is running low. Oh no. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Well,
So we need to plug in.
so be it. Anyway, so yeah, this was a big push we had through the summer up to November, right? And all right, so yeah, we only call those who wish to accept calls. When you sign up for Democrats Abroad, people select into that. And it's done during the daytime and early evening, according to the time zone that we're targeting. So whatever time of day you happen to be available, we're always calling somebody, right? And in this spring, we made calls for Wisconsin. And I'm really hoping that I'm gonna learn how effective those were. As you know, Wisconsin was kind of a victory, right? So yeah, we made calls for that. And phone banking training on the 19th. If anyone would like to get trained, or if you need a refresher, right? If you'd like to take part, you can come online and get trained to phone bank, right? And if you want to do that, go to democratsabroad.org/phone banking_training and sign up there. We're gonna have campaigns. If you already signed up for it, we have campaigns starting later this month, April 22nd, New Jersey, and that goes until June. Kentucky, I believe, starts in May. Then in the summer, possibly Mississippi, Pennsylvania, perhaps Virginia, those are still in the works, right? So summer, fall, we expect to be have more campaigns. If you have free time, please pitch in. We need your help. And I think that's about it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Eric and Rebecca. I wanted to, before Rebecca comes back, I wanted to explain something that we worked on last year. Democrats Abroad got certain amount of money for us to do advertising. I applied for 5 grants for Democrats Abroad Japan. 4 of those were accepted, and then we got some other money besides this. In total, I'll say 10,000 yen. No, $10,000. Excuse me. These are the 4 grants that we got. We did ads online and in print for Stars and Stripes Japan, Okinawa, Korea. This was a Japan-Korea coordinated grant proposal. And then we also got money for Japan Times and American Chamber of Commerce, which actually has been a very long time since American Chamber of Commerce has accepted us to do ads. We used to do it more regularly. So we got the only numbers I've been able to get so far from any of these agencies were Japan Time. We paid for 200,000 impressions, which we got in less time than we expected. It was 2 weeks. ACCJ, American Chamber of Commerce, Japan, we did online banner ad and then print ads for the October issue. Yes. And then postcards, we got approximately $1,000 to send postcards. And John, I'll come to your question in 1 second. I just wanted to share the fifth grant. Thank you. Oh, I'm trying to move the slides on my computer. Apologies. I was going to have images on this. We did not request money to do Facebook ads, but we got money to do Facebook ads. And we did get that money. And basically, Dave, did you want to say a few words about that?
We set up the Facebook ads using the materials that that Global had provided us, and was successful. We got lots of impressions. You know, I think it was a good job.
Thanks. Can you go to the next one? So what we were able to only get so far was that we do know around the time of our advertising, which was mostly September till the middle of October, we did for Japan, this is for VFA, Vote From Abroad website, have an increase in hits. Now, we know it's not just from our advertising, it's also because as we get closer to elections. Dave, could you go to the next one just to show, no, next, thank you. Just as we got to like September and October, more people are inquiring because the deadlines are coming up. And before I take John's question, I just want to say one thing. I do not have the data from the DA Global report because we're still waiting for that on where which races we are able to have an impact and which countries were, where was it close and which countries had an impact. I was hoping we would have a few slides on that. I think we're going to get this after the DA website is changed this week, because the last 2 weeks they've been busy renovating or reinvigorating, reforming, what's the word, the website. Thank you. Do I want to hand it over to Rebecca, or is John that a question for us? Sorry.
That's a question on that. That's
awesome.
yeah. Sorry, I know you're crunched for time, but I wanted to say very explicitly, fantastic job, XCOM. Spending $6,000 on getting Japan Times and ACCJ, reaching out to the Stars and Stripes for our veterans, just all the postcards, which take meticulous amounts of manual labor. I know. Thank you, Dave.
I just want to say thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave did most of the postcards on his own.
Yeah. And this is what it takes. Follow the money, guys. These grants that this XCOM applied for and received, that's way more than we ever got during our term. in 2019, 2021. And our global chair Candace has done an excellent job fundraising and getting money from the DNC in order to fund these new efforts for the country committees. And just the fact that you guys prioritized this and finding new ways to reach people rather than just just fundraising on social media, like it can be there, but it's just not the main priority, because there's so much of that else going on, and probably not the best place for our political discussions anyway. But I just want to say thank you, because this may seem like we're running through really fast to hit everything, but this shows that the creativity, especially between Japan and Korea, really bringing a different perspective, different effort, and a lot of manual work. So thank you, XCOM. I really appreciate this.
Thank
This
you
is
very
great to
much,
see.
John. Thank you. I do want to say, I want to add just one other thing, just like tooting this XCOM. We were one of the few countries that met the deadline for all 5 applications. It was extended for others, which kind of pissed me off because we got accepted right away. So because in October, some countries were still complaining that we got 4 out of 5 and they hadn't applied for anything. So I do want to say that we have a kick-ass team, and working with Democrats Abroad Korea has been a really big benefit for us. And with that, I'll hand it back over to Rebecca. Thank you very much.
Okay, so moving on to this coming year, there are actually quite a lot of elections this year. The main states that DA is focusing on are, of course, New Jersey and Virginia, and also Wisconsin, which we already won. Congrats to us. Also, Kentucky, Louisiana, and Mississippi have upcoming elections this year that we need to get working on. So even though it's technically an off year, we do still have a lot of work to do this year, and also to prepare for the presidential election next year. So these are some key dates. Next slide, please. I just really want to ask for volunteers for GOTV. As you saw, so we're connected to all of the other committees, and GOTV is like the central part of DAJ, and we need as many volunteers as possible. So if you have not yet registered to vote this year, please do that at voteforabroad.org. And if you are interested in volunteering in person, where we go out canvassing, hopefully you will receive an email about how to do that. And we also, next slide, please, have there are several events that you can volunteer at in person. I put the event page there. If you go to our website, democratsabroad.org, and go to the Japan page, it's there, and there are event lists for Tokai, Kansai, and Kanto. Just as an example, Tokyo Earth Day tomorrow. If anyone's going and you've been trained, please do some canvassing. Pride next week. If we can get some volunteers here, that'll be great. I'll probably do that. So that's in-person volunteer opportunities. There are also many ways to volunteer online, as like through intercom and in other ways, and of course phone banking, which Eric already talked about, which is very important in and maybe the most effective way to actually get people registered to vote. Next slide, please. So we have some trainings coming up that I would like everyone to attend. If you're okay, yeah, so that's the phone banking one that Eric already mentioned. Sorry, next slide. We have 2 trainings coming up immediately. So if you're interested in getting involved, I'll be doing the voter assistance training this Tuesday, April 18th at 7 p.m. online. RSVP on our website, and you will get the Zoom link. Eric will be doing a phone banking training the following day, Wednesday, April 19th, also at 7. For voter assistance, if you want to learn how to, like, what's involved with helping people register to vote in Japan, I will teach you how to do that, and then you will be able to do it on your own, hopefully in person at any event you may be attending this year. And for phone banking, you will learn the ins and outs of phone banking with Eric. So that's all for GOTV this year. I don't know if we have time for questions or if we should just move on.
Are there any questions, maybe quickly, before we move forward? I just wanted to commend our team that even though we've been mostly online, we have been able to be, Eric and Rebecca's workshops have been really the lead workshops in Asia Pacific. And it's really, they've really helped train more than just people in Japan. So I want to say thank you to both Rebecca and Eric for leading these trainings over the past year, a number of regular trainings. Thank you very much to both of you. All right. And next slide, Dave. I think it goes off to Kyoko and John get a little bit of time. Thank you.
Perfect timing, because I'm about to run off to the RVC NEC. I will mostly let John go first, and then if I have anything to jump in with, I will. Otherwise, I will get the report later from how the rest of the meeting goes.
Yoga, doesn't it make sense if you're leaving in 4 minutes, if you have anything to say to jump in?
Yeah, I don't want to duplicate stuff, but so the big things that we have coming up are the delegate selection plan meeting. This is for all DPCA voting members. This is on April 22nd. So it will be before we do our meetings. So the current DPCA voting members will be involved in that. Then we will have the global meeting, which is after our election, if I recall correctly, in June. So it will be the new slate of voters. So it'll be like this, but all of the global issues. Before that, there will be the regional, right before we move into the global meeting, there will be the regional vice chair election, but only chairs and vice chairs of the country committees are able to vote. And we simply don't have enough time for me to go over the slides, but I think next slide. Let's see. Okay, so this is the current Global Executive Committee, but it will be changing. All right, next. Okay, so I have updated this. This is the current GOTV team leaders at the global level. You'll see I have changed what is open and who has those positions. Next slide. We started to establish after Georgia in 2021 actual state teams, and there's a global state team coordinator, as you saw in the previous slide, but not all states have one. So if your state is not represented, you can adopt and form the team for your state. Next. So these are the various kind of types of jobs that are being done at the global level, and they each have coordinators. There are also various committees, both ad hoc and standing, and task forces. I believe that someone mentioned their work on Mr. Regent, I believe, mentioned his work on the taxation task force, but a lot of these are standing. So currently for coordinators, there are vacancies at the global level, membership management, state teams, and the regional GOTV in the Americas. Next slide. We have a bunch of international caucuses. We do not have time to go through all of them, but you can look over them. Please go to the Democrats Abroad website so that you can read. And all of them are open to every member of DA, even if you are not in a member of some of these groups. They will, of course, love your allyship. So if you're of interest, you have an interest in helping that community, even if you're not part, please join. Next slide. This is the big one. So this is the schedule for the annual global meeting. While there are in-person events, most of us will not be able to make those. Where our DPCA voting reps will need to be is on June 10th and June 11th for the DPCA meeting hybrid, where we actually will be voting on things. If you do want to go in person, there is a room block you can share with somebody, and that link is on there. Next slide. Okay, this is a global online event that is coming up. If you like Amy Klobuchar and want to hear what she has to say, please RSVP and go. It's a little late for us, 10 p.m. 10:30 a.m. Okay, next slide. All right, and I'll turn it over to John, and then I'm off to the Regional Vice Chair NEC meeting. Godspeed.
Thank you, Kyoko. I'm just going to share my whiteboard really quick. Can everyone see my MS Paint drawing? Can I get confirmation?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. I worked very hard on this. Much, I think it competes with some of the best slides here today, but
Got a screenshot of it.
yeah, I got a straight shot. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of go over a little bit today, just quickly, what Democrats Abroad, how Democrats Abroad fits in the big picture of the DNC. Because even though I've served many Japan roles for a long time and I'm a member of Japan, I'm not actually an officer for Japan. I'm an officer for Asia Pacific. And that might seem weird. So how does that work? Well, basically, what is Democrats Abroad, other than all the great definitions given today? As far as the DNC sees Democrats Abroad, it's a state party. And that state party consists of multiple country committees like Japan, Taiwan, United Kingdom, China, Korea, Germany, all the different country committees. And because of our membership and as a state party, we are assigned 8 delegates who each get half a vote for historical reasons. Can go into that another time. So these 8 members, 2 of which who are the chair and vice chair of DA, get state level committee representation in the DNC, where there's about 400 DNC members, and about 75 are directly appointed by the chair. So I just wanted to go over that. And also there's a diversity requirement for these 8. So 1 has to be from AP, 1 has Asia Pacific, 1 has to be from Americas, Canada, Latin America, and 1 has to be from EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So we directly elect the DPCA members, and regional electors will every 4 years directly elect one of those members. So of the 8, these 3, I am the Asia Pacific representative. So that has the benefit of also being ex officio DPCA rep. So we technically get an extra DPCA rep here in Japan. So yeah, these basically Americas, EMEA, and Asia Pacific directly elect a DNC representative. We have a few general ones, and then we have the chair and vice chair all go to the DNC with all the other state committees like Illinois, New Jersey, Texas, New York, etc. So I just wanted to go over how DA interacts with the DNC role in a little bit of a fun way here. And I hope that's super clear to everyone here today, because I think there was some confusion about it earlier. So I am your DNC representative, and part of what I do is try to attend the DNC meetings. There's 2 general ones every year. And we also, Candace, who's our global chair, along with the entire delegation, has worked hard, and Art, our vice chair as well, has worked hard at the global level, the international, which is DA, to, as a state party, get more funding from the DNC down to DA. And my understanding is that over the next few cycles, they've promised $600,000, which is about $150,000, I think, every year or 2 years. So some others can confirm. I can confirm those numbers later if you guys want to reach out to me. But yeah, we've been able to get more funding directly from the DNC, and we get to go. Every 4 years, there will be the Democratic National Convention, which is that big party, where the president's nominated, everyone's in the stands and the bleachers. The convention, and that's about 4,000 delegates. So we send way more delegates from each state party over to that. And then the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, does everything in the middle. And that's the 400-ish people, while I'm one of the middle people there in the meantime. So I just wanted to give sorry, I'm out of time. I just wanted to give a clear overview of how that works. And I'm sorry, I can't draw, but thanks for the time.
But thank you for the entertaining drawing. I appreciate that very much. May I ask you to? Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much, Kyoko. I know she had to go. May I ask you? Thank you, to stop the share so we can go very quickly to the final few slides. Are quite simple things, very quick on little things. Originally we had about 10 minutes slated for Q&A now. Yes, please. Onegaishimasu. Yes, thank you very much. Very quickly, the mostly asks, if you could go to the next slide, really simple things. DAJ, Democrats Abroad Japan, is only as powerful as our community is united. And it's really important that in this post-COVID world that we get out back in person and actually start talking to people one by one. I know some people hate the phone, but we can use social media, but it's really the one-on-one contact and having events that helps us build a community and generates the interest getting people to vote. One of the reasons we were able to raise so much money in 2008, of course, was Obama. We were able to have events of 300, 500 people. We couldn't do that now if I gave up my full-time job, and so did Dave. We're not in that position, and Matt and Regina, we're not in that position. And I'm not putting any pressure on the new ex-cons to have events 500 people, but the fact that there are 500 people actually willing to come to something over a year, that's about building the community. That's about the importance of local events. That's about knowing who the people are. And I would ask everyone to, if you could make, Dave, next slide, please, to make a commitment today to do one thing. It could be joining a training. If you're in the Kansai region, Kansai has their annual meeting. If you have questions, come and chat with me. I have a monthly chat with the chair the last Monday of the month. We do have executive committee and advisory board meetings that are open to the public. You can get the other events on our calendar. Next, Dave, please. Thank you. Thank you. Whatever you can do, bring friends to future events. Any event you're interested in, other members are interested in. I have people walking up to me all the time. We'd like to do this. Great. How can we do it? Help us reach out to other international groups. This was good the first time to reach out to the ACCJ, to work with Temple University, not just for internships, but to actually have events there. Hopefully we can use their space in the future. Become a phone banker, talk to Eric, go to Rebecca's online voter assistance training. There's so many ways to get involved. Next, please. And my last request for everyone is for everyone to walk away with one specific concrete thing you will do. Vote yes, vote, but one thing plus vote, whether it's join a training, introduce a person. As you see, usually when we're online, I ask people to write a commitment statement. Mine is always the same. Follow up with everyone. And then people in person to do the same. Commit to doing one thing that'll have an impact, even if it's bringing one friend to the speakeasy in May. An American voter friend. You can bring all the friends you want. All the friends you want. Some of us don't know that many American people beyond this room, but that one step is often the most difficult thing. But that one step is how we build our community and how we move forward and how we will have an impact next year. I want to say, as a final comment, I feel a little parting is sweet sorrow. We have about a month or 2 months left in this term. I want to thank everyone for all their efforts these last 2 years. I want to thank all the work people have put in. And I want to thank you for coming online. I want to thank you for coming in person. And we do have 5 minutes for everyone to give their commitment of what they'll do. This is when the sensei in me comes out. What is it everyone will commit to doing? And I'd like for everybody to walk away, to leave us with that. Online, you can do it in the chat. In person, we can put it on the clipboard. But we can use these last 5 minutes. Dave, you can stop go to the next one, which is if you can't donate, no, yeah, that's Q&A. Oh, time to take a group photo. I would like us to take some smiley photos. We can stop the share online and in person, take some group photos. And see if people have questions as well. We have 10 minutes here. I know some of you need to leave, so which is why I want to take a group photo and use the remaining time to chat.
Stop recording.
Oh, yeah. How about we stop recording, Matt? So that we don't have